Ribeye, 3 different ways. It's definitely worth checking out. Make your way over. It'd be something to see. He's going to be cooking right up here on the stage on the PK grill on some grill grates, doing a griddle version, a reverse sear, and grill marks. Thank you, Jeff. Perfect.
Let's cook some steaks, guys. Come on. I know they are. It's good. So a ribeye steak comes from one of the fattier portions on the cow. It's what you get your prime rib from. So whenever you're shopping for a steak, you want to look for something that's got really nice marbling. Don't fall for the ones that are nice and bright red and look meaty, because in reality it's going to be a tough, really unfun steak to cook and eat. So I'm lucky to cook with these Midland ribeyes here from Texas. Take a look at these guys. They're almost pure fat. So as this steak cooks, that fat will render a little bit, but it's also going to give a really great mouthfeel, and the meat itself will be very, very tender. So I took the liberty of throwing one of these guys onto my cooker and just put a little bit of smoke on it for about 20 minutes. What it gives you is another flavor element you don't necessarily get, but it also takes that steak to a rare stage where you can get a nice medium rare steak in a very short amount of time. So I cooked that about 2 hours ago, put it in the ice chest, let it just sit, and I just brought it out. This guy I'm going to cook with just salt. Let me say that. Go back real quick. I did some Boar's Night Out, nice barbecue spice on that one. This one I'm just going to do with salt, and this one I'm going to do with salt and pepper. So you'll be able to taste 3 different profiles. One that has a lot of garlic and things going on, plus smoke, and then something that will just really accentuate the beef. And then the one will actually have a little bit more of a Texas flair to it with the black pepper and the salt. So as you set up your grill, I usually try to be between 500 and 600 degrees on my grill, which can be tough to do on something like a Traeger. They don't get that hot. So I like to cook on charcoal, like something like a PK. I'm also running grill grates on this guy. One is flipped upside down. That's going to give me like a nice hard sear like you'd get on a cast iron. And then the other one is a traditional grill grate, and will actually mark that steak, more of a competition type look or a traditional steakhouse look. So I'm going to start off with this guy. I'm going to put him on the grill grates. While I season up this one. Normally I would trim these steaks up, but honestly they came in already really, really nice. But if you look at like this steak, the shape of it, that's more of what a prime rib would look like. So you can certainly remove this section if you want a nice round Delmonico type look to the steak. Actually, I'll do that right now while we're trying to figure out how to open the salt. And the salt container is giving us a little problem here. So anyway, so there's more traditional round Delmonico looking steak. And all I did was pull off that lip on that runs down the full length of that rib loin. Wow. I've never seen a salt container fight like that.
Man, I think it was on there.
It took 5 guys to get that open. So I already oiled up the grill grates. You can certainly oil your steak as well, but these guys are so seasoned, there's no real need for it. So you have one chance to shape your steak. Once it hits that heat, it's going to stay that way. So if it's not quite right, don't set it down. You hear that sizzle? The grill grates are running 580. So right in that range where I want to be, in that 500 to 600 range. So let those guys just go. The next thing I like to do with steaks is some kind of a finishing, either salt or a finishing butter. So like an unsalted stick butter. You can soften this guy up, throw it into a mixer, add whatever you want to it, whether it be herbs, barbecue spices, salt and pepper, and you can make your own compound butter. I like doing like roasted garlic, and I'll do like maybe 5-6 sticks of a compound butter, put it onto wax paper and roll it into a log and throw it in the freezer, and I have compound butter at all times that I can throw onto my steak to finish it. Another hint, it goes great on burgers. Little tab of compound butter on a burger, next level. So you can roast your garlic while you're cooking your steak. This is another good method too. You can actually get that garlic and rub it on the steak as it's cooking. Adds another flavor dimension to your steak. There we go. Any questions on a ribeye cut or other steaks before I flip these guys around? Nothing? So if you want to come here and look at these, this Delmonico I did on the flat top, you can see it's got a really hard sear, a really nice crust. It's personally how I like to eat steaks as opposed to something on an open grill. That's a real simple rub. A lot of garlic, a lot of salt and pepper, a couple other things in there. This is a great one, this White Lightning. It's one of my favorite spices. So if I roast garlic in an oven, I usually let it go for 30 to 45 minutes. A real easy way to do it is take a cast iron, put kosher salt in the bottom of it, and then put the whole clove right down, and it'll just cook out. The salt will keep it from burning on the underside and allow airflow. And then all you gotta do is cut that top off, and you can squeeze out this beautiful dark brown garlic paste. And then that can go right into your compound butter. So the reverse sear steak should finish a little faster because I took that to about 80 degrees in the smoker before cooling it down. So you can see the nice hard grill marks. You can only really achieve that when you're in that upper 500 degree range. So I just got back from Memphis yesterday, and I was hanging out with the guys from Salt Lick, and we were talking about steaks and how you cook them. We were all arguing over how many minutes you do before you turn, blah, blah, blah. So the consensus came down to 2.5 minutes turn, 2.5 minutes turn. Flip it over, 2.5 minutes, done. And you're ready to turn in at medium temperature if you're doing a comp. That's basically what we came down to. That's what happens when you drink beers with guys from Texas. That's the conversations you get into. So again, nice grill marks. So I'm going to take a little bit of butter. I'm going to add it to the reverse seared steak because it's about ready to come off and be sampled out. And the flat top one's finishing right behind it. Another good thing with a charcoal grill, if you want to put a little extra flavor in, throw some raw onions into your coals right before you put your steak down. And as they burn up, they'll put a bunch of flavor up into your steak as well. And it makes the neighborhood smell nice. All right. Are you ready to taste some steak? So I'm just trimming away from the fat. Oh, as I mentioned before, this is a Midland steak. And Proud Souls happens to carry them. Cherry. All right, here's some samples. You guys want to come up and take a little bite? That's the reverse sear with the white lightning, and just some unsalted butter on it to finish it.
That's good. There'll be more coming up in just a second.
So this is the one I did kind of on a flat top type situation, and you can see you get this really nice crust. You can feel it. Here you go, Ryan. So this one I just did in some kosher salt, nothing else. You're going to really taste that beef, and I did not add any butter to that one either. Just pure beef. No butter. Yeah, that was taking a little longer. Yeah. So the last steak I did has salt and black pepper on it only, and then I put a little bit of garlic herb compound butter on it to finish. So you can kind of see flavor profile-wise where you're going with the steak, what you're trying to achieve. You know, if you're mixing it with, say, the lobster tail that Jason just did, you don't want to overpower that and kill the flavor of the lobster. Or you put a crab cake on top of an Oscar type style of steak. You know, or you're going to add a sauce to it, a béarnaise or something along those lines. you choose how you power your steak based on the rubs. And going as simple as salt is just really good. Pulls out those flavors in the beef. All right, here's the last steak. You'll see how differently this cooks on an open grill as opposed to that flat top. Nope. It's not going to juice out, you'll see. When you hit it with such a hard temperature, it doesn't juice out on you. A bigger cut of steak, like say a tri-tip or something along those lines, that's a larger primal. You definitely want to let those rest. That's a great question. All right, here's the last one. Yeah. Yeah, it's a Bob Kramer. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Now, if I was doing something that was, say, 2 or 3 inches thick, I'd definitely let it rest. And I wouldn't have hit it as hard on that high of a temperature. Yeah, it would have gone a little bit cooler. But those were right around an inch thick. No big deal. Yeah. Yeah, you're welcome. 580 was that grill. Yeah. Let's see the textural differences between the 3 of them. Same steaks.